It's day 46 of the Eric Adams administration, and the gloves have come off. He was set to make some announcements around a youth summer job program, but first we got about 7 minutes of Blame the Media.
If you want to acknowledge or not, I have been doing a darn good job.
Fresh off his trip to Albany to lobby state lawmakers on several issues, especially changing the state's bail reform law to include a dangerousness standard, Adams ripped the coverage of his visit.
There was no arguing, no yelling, no screaming. Areas we disagreed on, we talked about it, and we walked through them.
Adams seemed to fixate on an anonymous quote in the Daily News that said he got, quote, beat up by fellow lawmakers. He said if that's how he's going to be treated, he would no longer take off-topic questions from reporters.
And if this is how this is going to be, then I'm just going to come in and do my announcements and bounce. I'm not going to. Why am I even answering these questions?
Veteran New York City political observer Sheinkopf says the relationship between the city's mayors and the media that cover them is always contentious, and he points to one reason, and one reason alone, Adams is lashing out so early in his term.
The mayor's trying to do is deflect the blame for whatever might not have happened in Albany. He'd rather blame the press corps than look at his fellow, frankly, politicians and say, they didn't give me what I want, and they told me they're not going to give me what I need.
Later in his remarks, Adams said he thought the coverage of him was racially biased.
I'm a black man, that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me. We got to be honest about that. How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written?
For more perspective on that last point, I did just have a long conversation with Basil Shmeichel, former executive director of the New York Democratic Party, an African-American man who frequently comments for Pix 11. What he told me is that all newsrooms, in his opinion, could certainly be more diverse, but he honestly does not believe that's at the core of these particular issues. He says the mayor is clearly frustrated because he's under a lot of pressure to reduce the crime that we're all seeing each and every day in this city. Live in the newsroom, Henry Rossoff, Pix 11 News.